Oh God, I've recorded this two times. Two times. And if it doesn't work this time, we're just gonna let it go. But yeah, sorry for the delay in responding to your comment. I clicked on this video because I was like, oh my God, how did I get so many people viewing the original video? And then I saw that I had some comments hidden for review, and I was like, oh. So that's how I found your comment. I did want to comment on it, and then maybe talk about how I feel now that the ban has a stay on it. I'll say this. I truly believe that your social media algorithm is a reflection of who you are. And I understand that comes off a little shady, and I apologize. But I'm going to tell you this. I've had people come to me, and I don't know what it is about me, but people always want to tell me like their deepest, darkest secrets. And I'm like, okay, happy to hear, but don't know why you're telling me. But not that I don't want to hear, but it's just like the relationship that I have with, like, sometimes I'll have dead ass strangers on the street walk up to me and tell me like things that I'm like, I wouldn't even tell my closest friend this. Why are you telling me? It is what it is. But TikTok has one of the best algorithms in the social media game. And I truly believe that is the reason why the Boer and the alien robot overlord and all the other social media masters want this app shut down. Because a lot of them see that, one, this app is able to capture people's attention. Two, this app is building a lot of community. Three, people are making money off this app like they have never seen before. You know? Four, this app is able to revitalize artists' careers. Like we saw people like Jason Derulo get his career reinvigorated off of this app. We've been hearing now, I follow a lot of creators like Honest on YouTube. He was talking, it's been a while since I've watched the video, but he was talking about how there were some creators, some musicians, who they were being told by their label that they had to create TikTok friendly music, or they had to go on TikTok and create TikToks in order to get their music popping. And maybe it was Doja Cat, or maybe Adele, one of them two, who basically they were told that they had to go onto TikTok and get their music popping on TikTok before the label would go behind them and release an album, which I think is kind of trash, because we all know that streams and TikTok views only go so far, right? It's the traditional methods of releasing music still can work today, you know? And, so I don't really care too much about the TikTok dancing, because I feel like if that's what you like and that's what you're into, TikTok's going to show it to you. One, and two, people dancing on this app helped other people's careers, including the dancers themselves. I mean, unless you want to talk about like the Renegade creator and other Black creators who kind of got left behind. Other than them, a lot of people's careers kind of got boosted because of the dancing. And I'll say this, during the TikTok ban, this app was drier than the Sahara. I don't know if it's because like 80% plus of the people I watch on here are in the United States, but this app was dry. It was doo-doo. It was the worst. Oh my God. Like everything they were showing me, all they were showing me was restaurant reviews around the city. And it's like, bruh, I don't eat out like that. Like, I don't care. And I was sitting there like, okay, you banned the Americans. You can't just show me like their equivalent in Canada, the equivalent content in Canada or in Europe. You just gonna completely like cut me off of any content relevant to what I've been building my algorithm to look like for the past how many months, how many years. It was a little bit, I didn't like it. It wasn't giving. And so what I ended up doing was I figured out that the Americans, even though they could not access their own accounts, their accounts were still active. So all I did was I just went on TikTok and I just watched the Americans. I just went through their playlists, the playlists I had saved from them, or I typed in their actual names and I would just watch them. That's personally what I would just do. So I do think a part of this is us. And I do think a part of it is TikTok themselves. TikTok created this app. TikTok created their algorithm. And we all know that the Chinese version of TikTok is a lot more highbrow than the American version. Or I wouldn't say American, the North American version or the Western version, right? We get to see stupid challenges, dances, mess, drama, the tea, whatever nonsense on here. But over in China, they're teaching people geography, science, math, chemistry. They're giving them like really highbrow educational content that they can learn from. We're not getting that over here. We're not getting that over here. And part of that is TikTok. TikTok, if they had wanted to create this into an educational space and a more uplifting space, they absolutely could have done it. They chose not to do it. That's not our fault. And that's not the Americans' fault, you know? I kind of want to pivot a bit and talk a bit about the TikTok ban. Boo. Tomato, tomato, tomato. Like, I don't know what Trump was thinking, or that guy, was it Xu, the CEO? It wasn't given. First of all, you banned it for like 24, 48 hours. If you really wanted people to feel the effect of it, you should have gone a little longer. And I personally think it was a stunt by TikTok, because they didn't have to ban it without an actual order from the American government. They chose to shut that down, to show us that they could shut it down, you know? And then Trump acting like he's the one coming to save TikTok. You're the one who started this. You're the one who started this, you know? You're the one who started this. You're the one who created this. So I don't want to hear talk about how you saved it and how you're so awesome. Trump loves everybody kissing his behind. And it's like, how you going to doo-doo on the side of the road and then clean it up and then be like, oh, I'm cleaning up all the crap out here. You the one who did the crap. You the one who doo-dooed. So how are we praising you for cleaning up doo-doo that you doo-dooed? Sorry, use the word doo-doo too much. But seriously, how are we cheering you on for cleaning up messes that you made? I don't get that. I don't understand. I need that explained to me. You know? And girl, or guy, I don't know. I don't know what you are. They, them, I don't know. but like, I think that this TikTok ban, I think it went too far. I do. Because now you're telling people in a democratic society what apps they can and cannot use. If you had an issue with this app, that should have been addressed at the front end of this app when it was being introduced on the App Store. Not let this app run for years, let people get used to it and get comfortable with it, and then all of a sudden now you want to crack down. That's not cool. And now you're showing people that, hey, if we don't want you gathering on a certain place, we will shut it down. This reminds me of was it 2012, where they had the Arab Spring crisis and people were tweeting revolutionary content, and then all of a sudden Arab countries were shutting down Twitter in their countries. And same thing happens when there's revolutions in African nations as well. A lot of the dictators, the first places they'll cut is Twitter, because people like to gather there and talk. That's what it feels like. That they're seeing that people will revolutionize on here and share key content and key information. And they don't like that this is a new gathering place. And they also don't like the fact that they, as the American government, don't get to control the means of production, the means of communication, and control the access to the public sphere. This is being held by a foreign body and a foreign agent. I think that's the bigger issue. And I think that's what's going to change. Either an American company is going to invest in this app, or maybe Meta is going to buy it, or something. We'll see. Time will tell. But I'm not blaming the Americans for corrupting this app, because this app was doo-doo when they weren't here. It was drier than the Sahara. It was not giving. It was terrible. So, and truly, if we non-Americans want this app to be something different than what Americans are bringing to the app, then either we need to create that content, or we need to support content that we actually want in our algorithms. So those are kind of my thoughts. We'll see what happens. But if the Americans go, I'm going with them. I'm sorry. I want to be where the Americans are. I gotta see what they're up to, man. They're a little kooky and crazy, but they're mine. They're my cousins over there. And you know what? I really do appreciate the value of the content and the insights that they bring to my life. So I'll be following them wherever they go. That's my take personally. Yeah. So time will tell if Trump will stay the ban, or if he'll get rid of it altogether, or if maybe TikTok will be under new leadership. We'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Yeah.